Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, commotion in Ede town at burial of first executive governor of Osun State, Isiaka Adeleke, as angry mourners attack Governor Aregbesol's aide at the scene. Fresh suicide attack kills 4 people in Maiduguri, Borno State. Another attack involving 3 female suicide bombers foiled by vigilantes. Internally displaced persons in Agatu community of Benue State return to their homes. Police in neighboring Nasarawa crack down on cattle rustlers. President Francois Hollande and other politicians back leading candidates in the French presidential elections, Emmanuel Macron.
And on business news tonight, Lagos State government redeems 57.5 billion naira bond, the second tranche under its initial 275 billion naira borrowing program.
And on sports news, technical committee clears 32 schools to participate in the Lagos preliminaries of the Channel's National Kids Cup.
And from Abuja, the World Health Organization applauds Nigeria's progress in its fight against malaria by reducing prevalence to 27% from 42% in 2010.
We begin tonight in Ede, the hometown of the first executive governor of Osun State, Isiaka Adeleke, where hundreds of angry mourners today stormed his burial scene and caused a commotion. The event was attended by dignitaries including the governor of Ogun, Ondo and Ekiti states. But not even their presence could deter the mourners from pouncing on one of the aides of the Osun State governor, Idayat Babalola, who was also attending the funeral ceremony at the time. It took the intervention of the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun to get her to safety.
The residence of the first executive governor of Osun State, Senator Isiaka Adeleke, is usually a beehive filled with party supporters. But today's gathering is with a different emotion, an event that has left all in disbelief and with broken hearts. The leader has died in the most unexpected manner. Most can't bear the thought of the news, so they keep their distance. Family, friends, associates gather to fill the condolence register. The governors of Ekiti, Ogun, Ondo states, and the Senate president are also here to pay their respects.
Very friendly person. Everybody loved him in the Senate. Very patriotic, grassroots politician, always had a smile on his face. He was always for peace, he was always for building Nigeria. It's a great loss.
It's shocking, regrettable. And to fill this gap, only God can help. It's unfortunate. That's all we can say.
I know it is something very painful, but no doubt supporters should take heart and look up to God. He's the author and finisher of our faith, and he decides where we go. He gives and he takes at his own time. You know, the important thing is that if we can celebrate life, God gave it to us. If death comes, we take it, and God gave it to us. That's all.
But not everyone is welcome. The presence of an aide to the governor of Osun State infuriates the crowd, who unleash their frustrations on her. The intervention of the governor's presence saves her from being lynched. After the scuffle, a worn-out Governor Ibikunle Amosun takes a seat. The circumstances surrounding the sudden death of the politician will be the talk of the town in Osun State for some time and will eventually fade away. But the family of the late Adeleke will be left to grapple with the reality of the patriarch's departure thereafter.
4 people have been killed today in a fresh suicide attack in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. The attack, which occurred at Mainari Kanuri village along Damboa Biu Road in the outskirts of Maiduguri at about 7:30 this morning, involved a suspect disguised as a cart pusher who was intercepted by residents of the community. He detonated the improvised explosive device on his cart, killing himself and 3 nearby civilians, while 2 other civilians were sustained injuries. Another suicide attack involving 3 female suicide bombers was foiled by the Civilian Joint Task Force in Mawanti village of Jere local government area. The Commissioner of Police, Damien Chuku, who confirmed the incident, says that both scenes have been secured and normalcy has since returned. Things are looking up for thousands of internally displaced persons in Agatu community in Benue State. Most of them who are back home are looking forward to continuing their lives under the Benue State government's resettlement program. A 10-kilometer road has already been constructed in Agatu to ease the movement of farm produce.
Peace may have returned to Agatu, but these signs of destruction and burning of people's homes would not be easily wiped away. Unofficial reports puts the death toll from the crisis at about 500. But these returnees are now trying to live a normal life. The children here are helping out with domestic chores, some of them collecting water from the only borehole in the community. Others engage in cassava processing while the women mend their fishing nets. A few yards away, however, is the presence of herdsmen whom residents are still wary of.
Fulani will come to our farm, remove our cassava, put them for their cattle, chop them. Our yams where we keep, Fulani go open them. You know, now that one they cause problem now. If not, so we don't have problem with Fulani.
About the relief materials procured with the 30 million naira donation from Benue and Nasarawa states is being put into use with the delivery of food items, and the beneficiaries are happy about this development.
Personally, my father built 14 bedrooms, but none was left. It was burned and all. I thank the present government to assist my community entirely, not only me. Very, very well.
Channels Television visits the Obagaji market where economic activities have picked up, but traders want a better deal.
As a load they come, well, development is coming, surely. But the problem we have in Agatu, as of Fulani come, we have problem.
Road network itself is a security. Because at a time when the road was bad, even if you are calling the security men, it took them a day, 2 days to get to this place. Then anything that want to happen must have happened. But with the road with us here, it's just, bam, see what is happening here, they are here.
Some form of help from Idoma indigents living in Zaria and Katsina states were received.
I have received assistance of cash from communities, Doma communities in Katsina state. That is both Agatu and Idoma living in Katsina state. They sent some cash gift of 140,000 to these communities.
As the people of Agatu begin the reconstruction of their homes, however small as this donation could be, what is needed is to fasten the resettlement while the government finds a way to resolve the insecurity situation in the state.
In Nasarawa State, the police command has signed a new partnership with some concerned individuals aimed at ridding the state of criminal elements. In an interview with Channels Television in Lafayette, the state capital, the State Police Commissioner Abubakar Bello says that a special operation has led to the arrest of 40 people suspected to be terrorizing some communities there.
The rate of crime in Nasarawa State, especially kidnapping, armed robbery and cattle rustling, is rising in the state. The trend has become a thing of worry for the police, which informed the decision to form a special crack team comprising members of the Vigilante and Mieti Anla Association with the aim of clamping down on hoodlums.
We have now started collaborating with the Vigilante and members of the Mieti Anla Association in order to get to the roots or to the places where these kidnappers hide on top of the mountains, that is around Udegi, Maraba, Udegi, Mbeki, Agwada, and others there. Because we got the information, this is where the criminals stay, on top of those mountains. They periodically come down to commit crimes.
According to the police commissioner, a 2-week-long operation was launched in troubled areas, which was a success.
But we are going to be on their trail. We'll make sure that we get them. As I said, there are so many other places we are going to check on them. And I believe with this exercise that we've started, yes, we are going to have relative peace in those areas.
In spite of the success recorded, the commissioner assures residents of the state that the operation will be a continuous task until the rate of crime is reduced to the barest minimum. Some of the victims praise the police for the initiative.
Alhamdulillah, yadda yan sanda suka taimake mu sun sare mana hawaye, sun sare ma duk kasan nan gaba da jihar Nasarawa sare mashi hawaye. Gaskiya alhamdulillah mun gode ma polisawa, mun gode ma commissioner.
2015, then stole a cow in Sileja, 87 cow. This is the third time. So those times we never recover, no single one who will recover. But we thank God in this effort with the CP of Nasarawa and the security agents, they recover most of cows.
During the operation, 40 suspects were arrested, while 500 cows, 13 motorcycles, rifles with live ammunition, and police uniforms were recovered.
The federal government says it will work to sustain the prevailing peace in the Niger Delta through synergy with the Ministry of the Niger Delta and the Amnesty Office. The Executive Secretary of the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, Dr. Bello Gusau, who represented the Minister of State for Petroleum at the forum in Abuja, said that the government's engagement with the people of the region is yielding results.
President of NAEE,
energy economists gathered at a meeting to deliberate on issues that affect the petroleum sector and how to make it contribute meaningfully to the nation's socio-economic development. One after the other, experts at the gathering speak on what must be done to revive activities in the petroleum sector.
The new attempt to fund JV cash call should be reviewed periodically within the context of the overall goal. Perhaps a pseudo production sharing contract agreement, or at best what I would call an overriding royalty funding arrangement, is worthy of consideration in order to retain a participatory interest in the JV agreement without the government having to continue to give money to the international company to operate the oil and gas industry.
The federal government, on its part, promised to make the sector work for the nation's economy. Some of its plan is to sustain its peace rebuilding efforts in the south-south region of the country.
Our engagement with the Niger Delta, led by the Vice President, is already yielding very significant results, with the absence of any major incident on our facilities, and a comprehensive and holistic development is currently being worked out with all stakeholders. Government at all levels, including the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Niger Delta, the NDDC, the Amnesty Office, and the various state governments.
The last few months have seen significant increase in oil production. Experts at this gathering believe that if this is sustained, Nigeria's economy will get the much-needed boost.
In part two, after the break, Kano Emirate Council refutes allegations that Emir Muhammad Sanusi II has spent 6 billion naira of Emirates funds since ascending the throne. Stay with us.